So there's something that you could feel that they're going to spend the money and time and energy to go to college in the various levels thereof,
Yes,
but at least they'll feel confident that they can then get a job afterwards. And
exactly.
so many times you're hearing reports that people graduate from whatever their focus was and they can't find a job.
Exactly. And with the physician assistant profession, the market is growing so fast. I believe it's a U.S. News and World Report calls it the number three fastest growing career in the country, and Forbes calls it the number one career in the country. Uh,
That's very impressive.
yes, yes. And in fact, healthcare in general is considered the number one sector in the country in terms of being job with job security and recession proof, so to speak.
Now, I know a lot of people watching are probably wondering, wait a second, we thought it was doctors and nurses and, well, everybody else you might find in a hospital, radiologists, for example, or x-ray techs or whatever. Let's start with defining what is a PA?
Okay, a PA or a physician assistant is a medical professional that's trained in medicine. We take our courses, our courses with medical students often in the same classroom. Basically, it's a master's level medicine program, and as opposed to a doctorate. We have a didactic portion, just like physicians do in their training, and we also have a clinical portion, like physicians do. What physicians have, though, is a residency portion that's after medical school itself. We do that in our last year of PA school. And we work under the supervision or with the supervision of a physician.
And so you're working with the supervision of a physician, rather.
Mm-hmm.
And what are the limitations? I mean, I always like to bring out what's the positives as
Sure.
well as the negatives, so you know what you're getting into.
Absolutely. So the way the physician assistant profession works is we take a national board. Physician assistants take a national board that tests our competency, and that covers how much or what we can do. Essentially, physician assistant can do everything or is trained to do everything a physician can do, except we can't be first surgeon. There has to be a first surgeon in the room, but PAs can be second surgeon. Then it goes down to the state level where the state puts its restrictions on practice, and then it goes institutional, and then to the physician themselves.
So they're really getting a lot of benefits with extremely little limitations. But I believe that the benefit you mentioned of having a higher quality of life with a lot less financial burden, and of course a third of the time invested in
Sure.
going to school, really outweighs the little bit of negative that you just outlined. I mean, to me, that's positives that really outweigh the negatives. So I also wanted to know, when you're talking about the schooling, what does your program offer? And you mentioned this program, and now I'm very curious.
Sure.
Tell me about the program.
Well, the program is a 4-month program, and it is 200 hours, a clock hour program. And what we provide is the experience that physician assistant or pre-PA students need to even apply to PA school. We provide a shadowing experience and a direct patient contact experience, both of which are required to apply. We also then do didactic training online, where we do training for how to write the personal essay, which is actually the most important part of the application to get you into PA school.
Wait, I gotta ask, is it difficult to get into PA school? What are the statistics on acceptance?
Sure. In 2015-16, there were over 190,000 applications put into PA school with 8,600 enrollments. So that's about a 4.5% acceptance rate.
Wait, only 4.5% of all applicants are accepted into PA school?
Yep, that's true. Yes.
That's a very, very small fraction.
Yep.
How do you assist an applicant on raising those numbers of acceptance?
Well,
to what level?
Well, the success rate of our program of having students accepted to PA school is 97%.
So you're taking someone from 4.5% to 97%?
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yes, and we do that using the psychology of communication, neurolinguistics, and we teach them basically how to communicate and utilize the experiences that they get through our utilization part of our program, patient shadowing, PA shadowing, and patient experience, and taking that and using that to create a connection of rapport with the interviewers. And while they're doing that, learning that sort of psychology of communication, they are also growing in their own way of how they relate to patients, and the idea is to have them to feel as if they are truly a PA already. We give them experiences working on a healthcare team as well, and hence reveal the physician assistant within.
That makes so much sense. Is there a lot of hands-on? Is this just an online course? What is the, and I understand that you have the shadowing, of
Mhm.
course, that's a component.
Yeah.
And the book, tell us about the book and how did you, is this a workbook? How does that work?
Well, the book is basically the program curriculum. And I put it out there because I wanted students to have an opportunity to get a feel for what we do. And the book is in itself is very helpful. The full program, of course, would be much better because it is practical. There are 3 phases to it: direct patient contact, and that includes doing quality of life surveys on the patients and reporting to the healthcare directors team at the facilities that we have. We have 22 facilities in New Jersey that we partner with, and about 10 physician assistants that work with us. Part 2 is the physician assistant shadowing part we discussed. And we really, shadowing is what they need on the application. We provide mentoring. Our physician assistants stay with our students and are available to them throughout their career.
And mentoring is tremendous.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a mentor myself, and it is very important. And the third part would be the didactic portion, something like 40 modules online that talk you through how to write your essay. We do an essay review, what to expect at an interview, and then the advanced interviewing techniques. And then finally, we do mock interviews with the program as well, which are videotaped. And the student then will be able to view their performance and the critique, which is also on the videotape.
So it's very comprehensive. This is
Yes.
not just a couple hours.
No, it's a 200-hour program over a period of 4 months. We make it user-friendly. Students don't have to quit school or quit their jobs to do it. The schedule is extremely flexible, and we work around their schedules because we understand what they're going through. We've been there.
So you've grown this from being localized to national, and is that the level that you're looking to expand in and take it on?
Yes. At this point, we have our program is in New Jersey. The clerkship program itself is only in New Jersey. I have one site in New York, however. But the online programs, and we do have everything we offer from the didactic point of view, is available throughout the country online, including an online coaching program, which is an 8-week program that we provide 1 hour a week with the PA doing a discussion on the topics in the book, topics that we cover in the clerkship program. And so a student in California would have access to a PA to talk to and ask advice for beyond what we just teach you in the program. They'd be like your coach.
That is so really, really helpful that you have this ability to help people nationwide. I mean, this is a TV show that airs nationwide. So you want to make sure that everyone who is watching you right now does have the availability to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
And especially I just find it really helpful that so many times students are just thrown into an area, but the mentorship aspect that you mentioned, I think is critical. What have you noticed to be some obstacles that your program is having to take something from only a 4.5% acceptance rate to 97%? What do you think are the top key factors to make that huge leap?
Well, I think one of the things is that most college students don't really have any idea of how to have a professional interview for a profession. And PA school is also very unique, and so that interview is also unique. They're really looking for, if a student has made it to the interview table, they deserve to be there. But now they have to convince and show the PA interviewers that basically they have the right kind of personality to be a PA. It's about empathy and caring and compassion, but you don't really want to say, my greatest quality is empathy, because the conversation's over. So we teach them how to use their experiences and actually paint the picture for the interviewer so that they actually determine, wow, this person, very empathetic, and like me. Again, we try to get that shared experience, one of the techniques we use. Shared experience being, basically, what's your greatest quality? Rather than saying empathy, talk about an experience you had that displays your empathy. And I guarantee you, first of all, that PA interviewer has had a similar experience. And they'll start to basically feel you, to use the colloquialism.
Can you give us one or two quick stories on a student that has emerged from the program just feeling more enlightened on how they can just, I'm still stuck on the 4.5% to 97%.
Let me tell you
That's just
something.
a miraculous number for me.
The hardest thing to do is when we have students that are too shy. They have a great GPA. You can tell they're a good person, but they're just too shy. And it's so difficult to pull personality out of someone who's really shy, but we've done that. We've had a student that was shy, and her grades were actually, we counsel with grades as well, do academic counseling. It took her 3 tries because of this thing. This issue with the personality, getting the personality out of her. And in the meantime, she did have to build her grades up. But it was the most exciting thing to know that you got someone who I would have to say had no shot, only because of shyness, and then deciding to change her career later in college to PA. But to get that person in school, and then indeed every time we get a phone call, often we're the first person they call, not even their parents. So
No, but you're the ones who have to get there.
yeah,
Parents may have helped pay for it
yeah.
when it's nice and parents are encouraging, but you're the actual facilitator that got them to the level of they were accepted.
And that's the thrill of it. That's why we do it.
I mean, you're just lighting up with why you're doing it. The why is on your face.
And in fact, we have relationships with our students that last for years. Our first student, my wife and I still have dinner with her every 3 or 4 months just to catch up. And this is someone that I mentored myself when it was just me, one facility, and one student 6 years ago. And we still get together. She's a PA now for 3 years, and she's like a daughter to us, And they all are. They're like our kids.
Congratulations on having a program that you gave birth to, you created. It was something that was a genius moment for you, but it's truly helping people change their lives, which of course is the medical field. So the ripple effect is immense.
Yeah.
Congratulations, John. Great job.
Thank you.
And that is how, if you listen to someone like Mr. Festa, who's now created an amazing curriculum to choose an alternative career that might be something worth looking into, there's so many different ways that can stop your crisis.